You're tuning into the deep dive, and today, April 3rd, 2025, we're trying to make sense of some pretty significant market turbulence.
Yeah, definitely a volatile day.
President Trump's just rolled out new tariff policies. Imports from China, the EU, some are 10%, some range, all the way up to 50%. And the markets, they've definitely taken notice.
Oh, absolutely. It's the main driver today. We're digging into market reports, especially from Grok Trade, to unpack this.
Right, Grok Trade. So our mission really is just to understand the immediate hit and maybe, interpret some of these early reactions.
Exactly. And the immediate market response is, well, it's quite telling. We're seeing broad declines, suggesting a significant level of concern.
Absolutely. I mean, the stock market saw some sharp drops. Grok Trade's data shows the S&P 500 down 4.84%.
That's a big number.
Yeah, and the Nasdaq took an even bigger hit, down 5.41%, and the Dow Jones fell about 4%. Those are substantial moves for just one day.
Indeed. And these drops, as Grok Trade points out, they actually push major indices into what's called correction territory.
Correction territory. Okay, that sounds significant. Not just a blip, then.
No, it's not just a minor pullback. It suggests, the possibility of a more prolonged downward trend. Raises some flags.
So wait, it's not a completely uniform picture, is it? Grok Trade also mentioned something about smart money.
That's right. They highlighted that some seasoned investors, institutional players, experienced traders with deep pockets, are actually seeing this dip differently.
How so? Like an opportunity?
Exactly. As a potential buy signal. It's a really fascinating divergence in perspective right now.
What do you think might be driving that kind of thinking amidst the broader drop?
Well, that's the key question, isn't it? These investors might be betting that the initial market reaction is perhaps overdone. Or maybe they think the long-term economic effects, maybe benefits of these tariffs, will eventually outweigh this short-term pain.
So they're playing a longer game, maybe targeting specific sectors.
Could be. Sectors they believe might actually benefit down the line from, say, reduced foreign competition because of these tariffs.
Okay, so turning to the U.S. economy itself, it's obviously reacting. Grok Trade is picking up on, what do they call it, inflation data whispers?
Yes, suggesting potentially faster price increases are on the horizon.
Right. And how do tariffs typically, feed into that, into rising prices?
Well, tariffs essentially increase the cost of imported goods for businesses here. Those increased costs often get passed along to consumers.
Okay. So higher prices for, everything from raw materials to the stuff we buy in stores.
Precisely. And that upward pressure on prices is what fuels inflation concerns.
Which explains why Grok Trade is noting this split reaction on Wall Street. Some are worried, thinking recession, maybe?
Yeah, if tariffs stifle economic activity too much. But others see it more as a strategic, maybe necessary long-term play, even with bumps initially.
And there's a lot of uncertainty around the immediate data, like job numbers, the Fed. Grok Trade mentioned that too.
Exactly. They emphasize that uncertainty. Upcoming job numbers, how the Federal Reserve might react to both the tariffs and any emerging inflation data. These are critical pieces everyone's watching.
Okay, now shifting gears a bit. Surprisingly, it wasn't just stocks, even things like Bitcoin, which often seems to do its own thing.
Right. It saw a dip too, about 2%, according to Grok Trade, hovering around $85,000. And they directly linked it to the tariff news.
Interesting. So it suggests like a kind of broader market nervousness, maybe a risk-off sentiment?
It could be. The crypto market sentiment is notoriously volatile anyway, swinging between, optimism and pessimism pretty fast.
But what really caught my eye was precious metals. Grok Trade reported gold and silver both dropped about 2%. That feels counterintuitive.
It does, doesn't it? Usually you do think gold, silver, safe havens, right?
Yeah.
Especially when markets are shaky.
Yeah, exactly. So them dropping, what could that mean? A rush to cash, maybe?
That's one possibility. Or maybe, just maybe, it suggests a belief, at least for now, that these tariffs won't trigger a full-blown, immediate crisis. It's definitely something to watch.
Okay, so let's try to wrap this up. Based on Grok Trade's analysis today, these new tariffs have triggered pretty significant drops in stocks and even these unexpected dips in crypto and precious metals.
Right. And there's this clear division. Some investors see danger, correction. Others see maybe opportunity. Uncertainty is high.
And for listeners maybe wanting to navigate this, Grok Trade, they do offer that mentorship program, right, for understanding technical analysis, setups, risk management.
Yes, they mention experienced mentors, evidence-based strategies, a 3-day intensive program, ongoing support, community. resources for traders wanting deeper insight.
Okay, so this all definitely raises a significant point for listeners to consider going forward.